Spawn.
What is up, everybody? VitalSyntaxs here, and I've got some Battlefield 3 TDM gameplay. I'm using the AEK-971 as assault/medic, and so this is my very first Battlefield 3 video on my channel. So I'm going to be doing a first impression review of the game. Keep in mind, this isn't a comprehensive review or anything like that. It's basically just my opinions after playing about 25 hours into the multiplayer. I mean, I've been playing this game way too much lately. Mostly multiplayer. I did a couple hours in the single player and a lot of co-op as well. And they actually did a kind of interesting thing with the co-op where you have to play the co-op to unlock some of the multiplayer items, like the G3 assault rifle, the SIG 553 carbine, the Rex revolver, M39 EMR sniper. So I kind of like that because it kind of made me want to play the co-op. And when I was actually playing it, it was actually really fun. And I think that a lot of people might just ignore the co-op completely. But you know, if they give you some type of incentive to do it, it makes it a little bit more fun. It makes it a little more rewarding. So, but also they kind of made it. They made it a little bit too hard to get. For example, I've played through every single co-op mission on every single difficulty. There's easy, medium, and hard, or easy, normal, and hard. And I'm only about halfway through all the unlocks. So it takes a long time to get toward. I think the G3 is the very last thing you unlock from the co-op, so it takes a very long time to do that. And I wish they kind of maybe would have made it a little bit easier to unlock, or either that or had more co-op missions, because there's only 6, so you have to play those co-op missions over and over and over and over, and it gets kind of repetitive. But regardless, back to reviews and impressions and things like that. As far as like official reviews, I think last time I checked, Metacritic was sitting at about a 93 for the PC version. I don't know about the Xbox or PS3, but I'm sure they're somewhere in the 90s as well. And that's a really high score. That's one of the highest scores this year, and definitely deserves it, because I think this is by far the best first-person shooter, probably one of the best games this year, and arguably one of the best first-person shooters of all time. I've been having tons of fun with it. I mean, I really haven't had any issues with it, and the fact that I'm able to actually go in and play for 10 hours straight on some of these nights without getting frustrated, without rage quitting, without just not wanting to play anymore, just shows you how much fun it is and how engaging it is. And really, it's a video game. It should be fun. That's what it's all about, and that's exactly the feeling it gives me. And I think part of that is because of how easy the game is, but how hard it is to master. Like when I first started playing the game when it had come out, I hadn't played Battlefield since the beta, which was a couple weeks, and I actually hadn't played very many games at all between those two, between the beta and the full release. So I was very, very bad, basically. I mean, my aim was way off. I didn't really know any of these new maps or anything like that, and I didn't really know what guns to use because they tweaked a lot of things from the beta, and I was doing really, really bad. My kill-death ratio was about a 1.2, win-loss ratio was about at a 1, score per minute was about at 200 or 300, and now that I've been playing basically non-stop since this game came out, I've gotten so much better at it, and it just feels very satisfying to get better at a game. And right now I'm sitting at almost a 2.5 kill-death ratio, a 1.8 win-loss ratio, and almost 600 score per minute, which to me was quite impressive for myself. And I'm a pretty big stat whore. I mean, it's mostly just for me personally. I like to challenge myself and see how high I can get stat-wise. But I don't know. I like the fact that somebody that comes in that even as a first-person shooter player like myself, comes into the game, as a new player or not having played the game before. It's challenging. It's tough. I mean, obviously you don't know maps and things like that, but on top of that, there's lots of recoil to the weapons. You have to learn to burst fire, tap fire, things like that at range. You have to learn the new recoil patterns, things like that. You got to know which type of gun to use. There's tons of different strategies that come into play also with all the new kits and equipment that you get, and all of that. I mean, it takes time. It takes time to learn, and it takes effort. And when you get it all down, and when you start just getting tons of kills and getting tons of wins and just doing really, really good at the game, it feels really satisfying. And I mean, I haven't had this much fun playing a game as far as I can remember ever. So, as far as the single player goes, I haven't played the full thing, so I'm not going to do a review on that. And I will be playing the heck out of that thing because the first couple hours which I played while the servers were down was really, really cool. It's scripted very obviously. I mean, for example, there's some parts or some missions where you're killing waves of enemies, and there's maybe like one target you're supposed to take out, and if you don't take out that target, the enemies will just continuously come and keep spawning. So it's very scripted, which I'm okay with. Because a lot of first-person shooters and a lot of single players in general are scripted, but it's very obvious and they didn't really blend it in very well. But aside from that, the action's very, very well done. It feels very engaging, and the story so far is pretty interesting. It's kind of cliche. I'm not going to ruin it, but basically has to do with a nuclear bomb. So I mean, a first-person shooter without a nuclear bomb isn't a first-person shooter. So I'm not going to go too much into the co-op or the single player because I haven't finished that, but maybe once I complete that I can make another video on that. But as far as the multiplayer and the co-op goes, it's very, very well done. I mean, if you're a first-person shooter, if you play first-person shooters, I should say, you have to get this game. I don't care if you're a Call of Duty player. I don't care if you're playing on the PS3, the Xbox, or the PC. It doesn't matter. If you play first-person shooters, you have to get this game. It's a must-have. If you can only buy one game this year, buy this game. And now we can get into a whole discussion of Modern Warfare 3 versus Battlefield 3, and I've done multiple videos on that, and I'm not going to get into that in this video. But my general rule of thumb is if you're a first-person shooter player, get this game. It's so fun. It's so engaging. One of the things I really like they did and changed from previous games is the unlock system, especially with Bad Company 2. Once you reached about level 32, I guess, there was nothing else to unlock. So you're basically sitting from level 32 to level 50, which is a very, very long stretch because those levels come very slow towards the end. It sucks because you're not unlocking anything, and doesn't feel rewarding. But they did a really, really good job with the unlock system in this game, where you unlock attachments for specific weapons instead of unlocking one attachment for all the weapons in that class. On top of that, there's tons of different types of scopes, way more attachments. They have a similar thing with what they had with Medal of Honor, where you can have up to 3 attachments on each gun. There's a lot of guns in general. I mean, I don't know if there's more or less in Bad Company 2, but there's definitely a lot of guns, and they all feel very unique. And they feel really, really good. So that's basically my opinions on Battlefield 3. It is an amazing game. Go out and purchase it if you haven't already. If you haven't already, I don't know why you're watching this video. But yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. If you guys enjoyed the video, remember, leave a rating, and I'll have tons more Battlefield 3's videos up in the next couple days. All right, see ya.